right, the next question asks you to explain why unsaturated fats tend to increase membrane fluidity. All right, well, this has to deal with the structure of a saturated versus an unsaturated fat. So if we're dealing with saturated fats, right, I'll just draw one here, another one right next to it. All right, basically these two fats, because they're able to rotate around all these carbon-carbon single bonds here, their aliphatic tails are going to be more or less in the extended type conformation like this, which then allows them to approach one another very, very closely and make pretty extensive van der Waals contacts, right? And we've talked before about the types of intermolecular forces in biochemistry, so what we're talking about here is really London dispersion forces. And also, I'm going to remove the negative charges here because usually we don't have free fatty acids in a membrane, right? So these are actually esters connected to like a glycerol, right? So because there's this extensive contact and lots of force basically holding these molecules together, they tend to not be able to diffuse away or move with respect to one another very, very easily without adding in heat to basically speed up their motion. Now, if on the other hand now, sorry, all right, my pen just died on me. All right, if on the other hand, we were able to draw in a unsaturated fatty acid, all right, what you would find, there we go, is that basically the structure, the double bond, introduces a kink in the fatty acid. And what this kink does is it essentially creates a void over here that these other fatty acids then they can rotate and kind of try to fill the void. But because of this kink now, essentially there is less attractive force at the tail regions down here because of the increased distance and increased mobility. And so these there is therefore now less London dispersion force holding the adjacent lipids together, and as a result they are more readily able to diffuse past one another. So unsaturated fats, because of the kink in their lipid structure, are going to tend to be more fluid because there's less attractive force between the lipids.